Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to do a couple of these. I'm actually going to skip from one here and then do this one real quick because this is a bit more conceptual. So benzene melts at 6 degrees and boils at 180. And we want to know if it's going from 0 to 100, what that would look like. So the first thing is give me some axes. Bam! This is going to be heat added. And this right here is going to be like temp. Okay? Degrees Celsius. So this thing starts at 0 degrees. So I'm going to start this graph at 0 degrees. All right, and it's going to raise from 0 degrees to 6 degrees. So 0, and I'm going to say this right here, this is 6 degrees. All right, now this right here it's a solid this entire time. All right, then from 6 degrees it's going to go straight across, and it's going to go like this, and then it's going to start to go all the way up to 80 degrees. So the next one is going to go all the way up to 80 degrees. So I'm going to say this right here is 80 degrees. Basically this whole time it's a liquid. Then we're going to add some more energy, and then it's going to get up, and our final temperature is 100 degrees. 100 degrees, and this is going to be gas. So this right here is called fusion, aka when it's melting, and vaporization, aka when it is boiling. Alright, I recommend drawing one of these when you're doing this, just because it kind of helps you break it apart. Now some of the questions might be asking you to go only from here to here, so it might be a little bit simpler. But this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and so will this. Alright, so calculate the energy needed to convert 16 grams. So the equations that I'm going to be using is basically Q equals M times CS times delta T. I'm going to be using this equation right here, for here, and for here, whenever it's heating. So I'm going to say Q equals M times CS times delta T. Q equals M times CS times delta T. Q equals M times CS times delta T. Now for this one, it's actually a little bit easier. It's Q equals M times, and it's the heat of fusion. Heat of fusion is just this right here. So delta H of the fusion. Well, this right here would be Q equals M times, it's this thing right here, delta H of the vaporization. Alright, now let's just enter some of our numbers. First thing is, we're talking about 16 grams. I like to put that in each one first. Okay, that right there, oh whoops, is a multiply, 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 multiply. This one right here is we're talking about heating the ice. So I look at the specific heat of the ice, and it's 2.1. 2.1. Alright, I'm going to go to this one. The specific heat of my water, we've been using it a whole bunch, should be 4.184, but in this case it's a little bit rounded, 4.2. Then this one right here is the same thing. It's going to be 2.0, 2.0. Okay, and I'm going to skip these for a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and put them in. Heat of fusion, right here is times 335, and the heat of vaporization is 2.25 times 10 to the third. This one's usually actually pretty big. Now the last step is I need to get this delta T for this one, this one, and this one. So delta T of this one, I have to think a little bit. All right, it goes from negative 25 to 0, and remember it's final minus initial. All right, here it goes from 0 to 100. 100 is my final, initial. Here it goes from initial is 100, and it goes all the way up to 122. All right, so you can sometimes draw one of these for this to kind of help conceptualize it. So now, I'm using my calculator. I'm going to say 16 times 2.1 times 25, because this is a negative minus a negative, is 840. This one is 840. 16 times 35. This bad boy right here is equal to 560. 16 times 4.2 times 100 equals 6,720. This is the big one. 16 times, you know what, this one right here, it's 2.25. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, so it's 2,250. Bam. That equals 36,000. And this one right here is 16 times 2 times this number right here would be 22. bam, is equal to 704. I now add all these up, so that plus 3600, plus 6720, plus 560, plus 840, and I get, when I add all of these up, 44824. I look at these, my sig figs are only 2. Oof. And I can, this is in joules, so I can turn this into just 45 kilojoules. That's my answer. Deuces.